When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
There's a lot of you don't know about the fantasy headlines. Nation. Headliner Nation. Fantasy headlines for the nation. I'm a headliner. I'm a headliner.
Yo. Analytics off the chain. Other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. Y'all stuck on third down. Your content's plain Jane. Headliners on top now. We gonna move and change. Podcast off the rip. Draft guide, so legit. Fantasy world, our game tight. You know we about that chub life. Stuck in a rut and you need some motivation. Head to the channel for this Headliner Nation.
I'm a headliner.
What is going on, everybody? It is a beautiful Thursday evening. Hopefully y'all are doing well. I know that I am, and I am ready for some playoff football this weekend. Woo! Woo! The beat gets you every time, Luis. It gets me too. Ooh. Ooh. Do it with me. Everybody at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Is that how it makes you feel? You just got done with your redraft league in January? Redraft league in January? What up, Jeremy? Oh, for the playoffs. Okay. All I saw was I just got done with my redraft league, and I was like, what? Cotton, I did a video on this. I already told you who was going to win. I did my playoff prediction video. Did you not watch it? Jeremy. All of our live streams. Let's get it. Terry reminding everyone to hit the like button. I thought you were going to Florida. I am. I'm going to Florida. We leave on Sunday morning. So we'll fly down to Florida Sunday morning. We'll be there Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for a majority of the day, and then we'll fly home Thursday night. So I'll be home in time to watch the championship games next week. Ben Desmond gifted a membership to the Headliner community tonight. Ben, I appreciate the gifted sub. That's going out to Peace Dog. Derek, we're gonna go stay at Universal Studios for the week. We'll be in Orlando, Derek. That's exactly where I'll be at. We're staying at the Hard Rock. We're staying at the Hard Rock Resort there at Universal. I'm excited. We got like the club level rooms. Oh, we're gonna be in style. The Pound. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with the colder weather. To be honest with you, I'm fine with it. It's gonna be like 70s for us while we're down there. I'm okay because I can still wear my sweatshirts. You know what I can do? I can wear a sweatshirt and some shorts, show off the calves. Did you sell your Mac? I did not. He's still right here. Oh, sorry. He's still over here. Right in this area. Right there. Jeremy, no calf cam tonight. I had leg day today. I'm a little sore. We've been getting back into the gym as well. We felt really good in the gym this week. Got a nice leg day in today. Okay. Did a mile on the track. Did a mile and a half on the bike. Did lots of calf raises. Of course we did, because that's how we do it. Did some squats as well. What up, AH? From Philly, PA. Donald's here. The best hoodie and Daisy Dukes. I'll wear some Daisy Dukes. Do you all, for all of you that are members, do you want Florida calf pics at Universal, at restaurants, on the beach? We're not going to the beach. By the pool. I bet Jake has some skinny legs. He does, actually. He's a big guy, all right? Jake's, I mean, he's got the height. He's taller than me. But his calves are just, they're nowhere near it, okay? They're just not, all right? And it's okay. It's okay, Jake. It's okay. Whoa, he's in the chat. Jen. Lots of thick lotion and some sand from Home Depot. Jake's calves are, they're not bad, but come on, they're not mine. They're not mine. Oh, you were at the Vikings game. All right. Jake's not here to defend himself, and we're taking advantage of it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's on tap for tonight? We're going to be talking about some prize picks. Ricky, it's not scripted. It's not. Nobody will ever be able to prove to me that the NFL is scripted and planned out. No, I don't think it is. No one will ever be able. It's just because all of the upper tier of the NFL would have to be in on it. Okay, every single management, every single owner, GMs, coaches, coaching staff, players. Do you know how many people would have to be in on that? And the referees. Do you know how many people would have to be in on that? And for as many years as the NFL has been around, nobody's let it slip yet. I don't believe it at all. Never. Josh, some more live streams with Jake and Kyle. Well, we'll have some for sure. 100%. Headliner Combine, calves only competitions. I mean, we could do that, but I wouldn't really want to, because if we did, then I would embarrass Jake, and I would hate to do that. That was a good recovery, Jen. That was. Yeah, Antonio Brown, if he knew it was scripted 100%, he would have already. Jake, you won't have me around next week, so I have to get those shots in now. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, can I use Prize Picks if I stay in California? I mean, if you are like in the state in which it is allowed, yeah, you can use it. Like, it's not allowed here in Indiana for me, but when I went down and visited Jake, it's allowed in North Carolina, so I would go through and I went in and I got myself some action that weekend and stuff like that. Yeah, so if you're in California right now, you can use Prize Picks while you're there. Supreme becoming a member for the 6 months. He calls dibs on licking the peanut butter off my calves. Is prize picks is all player props. That's right. Nobody can replace me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Team Toxic. Hey, let's talk some prize picks. All right. Yes, it is. Code word headliners. They'll match your deposit up to $100. All right. Let's talk some prize picks while we're at it, because that's why we're all here tonight. We're going to go through some prize picks, some different options I potentially see for this weekend, some different things that we should potentially do. And there was a few that already kind of stuck out to me as I was kind of making my way through the prize picks that were already out there. Which ones did I do already? I know I took the over on Travis Etienne. Hold on a second. I have to look up what my prize picks I put in the videos were. What do you mean I have to verify it's me? Of course it's me. It's my computer. I took Travis Etienne on the over. That is when his yardage prop was 63.5 yards. And they have bumped it all the way to 68.5. That's a pretty big jump. It's a little riskier to me at this point. The reason I went with it, in 3 of his last 4 games, or 3 of his last 5 games, he's gone over 100 yards. In 4 of his last 5, he's been over 80. So there's only been 1 game in the last 5 that he's been under 80 rushing yards. Kansas City's been pretty darn good against the rush this year. They've only allowed 81 a game. But the good thing about Travis Etienne is there's not anybody else in that backfield getting touches right now. So it's not like we have to worry about him losing out on those touches or things to other people. 68.5 is getting a little, I really didn't want to get to 70. 70 was kind of that cutoff line for me. 70 is where I'm like, all right, we could really go either way here. 68.5 brings it a little bit closer, so it does bring a little bit more risk into it. But I feel like they're going to have to run the ball because they're going to have to keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. They're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Patty Mahomes in this game. The other one that I was going to do this week was Jalen Hurts. I took him under 230.5 passing yards. They have now bumped that all the way up to 240.5. So if I was taking him on the under of 230.5 and they bumped it up 10 yards, give it to me. I'll take that. Absolutely. I don't know why they bumped it up. Over the last 2 games that he's played against the New York Giants, in week 18, he only threw for 229, and that was basically against second stringers because New York rested a lot of players. And then earlier in the season against the Giants, he threw for 217. The New York Giants only allow 229 passing yards per game. So I was taking the under of 230.5, and now they've given us an extra 10 yards. I'll take that. I'll take that. Give me the under on Jalen Hurts at 240.5 passing yards this week against the New York Giants. Briz, baby, with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Briz. Swag, MF Rich. What's going on, man? Hopefully you're doing well over there. One of my lights just went out. It's not good. Apparently, I thought I plugged the batteries in earlier today, and I guess I didn't. Let me put a new light in here. Even though y'all can't see my face right now, so it doesn't really matter. Let me put a new light in there real quick. All right. And the other one that I got, what was the other one in here that I got? Deebo Samuel over 55.5 receiving yards. Let's see if that prop has changed at all. Deebo. Where you at, Deebs? Debo, 55.5. He has stayed put at 55.5, so I'll take that. I just hit my knee on the desk. Ooh. That hurt. That hurt. I about knocked my camera over. Ugh. Debo, over 55.5 receiving yards. That is where we still lie with Debo right here at 55.5. Dallas has allowed the 6th most receiving yards to wide receivers this season. I will give it to them, though. They've been much healthier over the definitely last week is the healthiest they have been in quite some time. But I do think that Brock Purdy's going to have to get the ball out quickly. We're going to have to go. Debo's going to be a part of that. Get the ball in his hands and let him absolutely roll. I do like that. Dog's Breakfast becoming a member for the 11th month here on YouTube. Thanks for everything, headliners. Looking forward to the offseason. Could Jesus microwave a burrito so hot that he himself could not eat it? Probably not. Probably not. He'd be able to snack on that thing no matter what. All right. Hit the like button if you want to see me put the Doc's paycheck on the line for a 6-pick prize pick. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody hit the like button right now. I'm down for that. I'm down for it. What are some other prize picks that we could find this week to help us out? Let's take a look through that. Let's see here. 17.5 receiving yards to Travis Etienne. That's kind of interesting. Receiving yards. Going up against Kansas City. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we might have one here that I want to talk about. Let's talk about Travis Etienne. So I said it a few minutes ago that I thought his rushing prop was getting a little bit close to being risky, right? They raised it 8 yards. That's a little risky for me. I wanted to be right around that. I wanted to be below 70 yards. They've got it at 68.5 right now. However, we have got Travis Etienne at 17.5 receiving yards. Over his last 5 games, he's hit that 3 times. His game against Tennessee, he was right on the line at 17, and then against the Chargers, he was under at 12. But here's the thing, and this is why you all come to the nation, baby, because we dive into it like nobody else does. The Kansas City Chiefs have allowed 778 receiving yards to running backs this season. That is 45 yards a game. That is the 4th most in the National Football League. They have allowed the 4th most receiving yards to running backs this season. 45 yards a game. 45 yards a game to running backs. Travis Etienne, his receiving prop right now is 17.5. And he's hit that in 3 of his last 5 games. And one of those games, he was right at 17. I'm taking the over. If the rushing line is not enough for you, if you're worried about that rushing line, then I would understand why. Okay? So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to stay away from that. I would rather go with the receiving than the rushing. I'd rather go with the receiving. Let's lock that one in. We're going to put that one in right there. What was one of the other prize picks that I said that I really liked? Oh, Jalen Hurts, the under right there. Going to take the under. Going to take the more there. The receiving yards on Debo was another one that I was interested in. And I'm just highlighting these on the side so you can see them. We're going to take the Debo, and we're going to take more than 55.5. Okay. I mean, I like the ring the best because it's something that's easily portable, so you can take it to and from like your fantasy events and show it off to like your league mates and stuff like that. Do I think the O-line injuries for the Bengals will affect their wide receiver numbers, especially on the road? Yes. Brad, I don't know anything about using a VPN. Trust me, if I did, I'd be using it for Warzone all the time. I don't know anything about VPNing, dude. I'd get a new ring every year. Listen, Anna, men might lose a lot of things, but they're not losing their fantasy championship ring, okay? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Let's take a look at the receiving yards for the Bengals. One receiving prop, and I brought this up in my video. Earlier in the week. There was no good prize picks yet that I liked for the Cincinnati Buffalo game, but the two that I would keep an eye on would be the Joe Mixon and the Samaje Perine receiving yards. Samaje Perine at 10.5 receiving yards has only hit that one time in the last 5 games. But the reason we're interested in that is because they don't even, they're going to have to get the ball out, you know. They're going to have to. Just like McMurphy just brought up, the O-line is freaking torched. The O-line is beat to hell. Okay? So they're going to have to get the ball out quick. They're really going to have to. Now, Buffalo against running backs have only allowed 481 passing yards or receiving yards this season. That is 9th fewest in the league. This would be a risky one. I don't know if I'm fully on board with 10.5. I definitely think it's possible. But I don't... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really into this one. Joe Mixon's line sits at 23.5. Now, he has hit this 3 times. So his receiving yards over his last 5 games, 17, 41, 43, 33, and 10. Part of me would rather go to either Hurst or Tyler Boyd. So Hurst is at 32.5 receiving yards. He's only hit that twice. Buffalo is pretty good against tight ends, though. That's another concerning factor for me. Buffalo against tight ends allow the 4th fewest receiving yards a game to the tight end position. So they're only allowing 38.5 receiving yards per game to the tight end position. Something like that. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I like Hayden. I don't know if I like Hayden Hurst at 32.5. I think it's possible, but Buffalo does a pretty good job. I think I would be a little bit more interested in Tyler Boyd, to be honest with you. Tyler Boyd is one. If you take a look at Buffalo actually hasn't been as good against wide receivers this year as they have been in the past. They're kind of middle of the road against wide receivers. But when you look at, again, how this game is going to go, if we're talking about Burrow not having enough time, needing to get the ball out quickly, that speaks a little bit more Tyler Boyd or Jamar Chase to me. Jamar Chase at 82.5 yards, I probably stay away from that one. Higgins at 64.5, I don't go with that. He's only come close to it once in the last 5 games. His average yards over the last 5 games is only 48 receiving yards. We're pretty far off of that 64.5 right there. I think this game is one that I kind of stay away from because I feel like it could go either way. Joe Burrow could pop off and they could get enough things going at that point that it's like, yep, okay, we're getting the ball out, we're rolling, we're going quickly, and Buffalo just isn't able to keep up with the passing game and that quick passing game. Or they could absolutely just get knocked to shreds. If I had to say one is the safest out of this matchup, it would probably be Mixon. Mixon would probably be my safest out of this matchup. What about Pollard? Less rushing yards against the 49ers run defense. Where are we at with that? Tony Pollard at 46.5 rushing yards has hit that in 2 of his last 4 games. So he's either or, okay? He's gotten 77 and then 19, 19, and 75. So he's either been, yep, really good, or nope, not even close. Going up against the 49ers run defense, the 49ers run defense was the only team in the NFL to allow less than 1,000 rushing yards on the entire season. They only allowed 985 rushing yards over the course of 17 games. That's 57.9 rushing yards per game. Honestly, I probably take the under on Tony Pollard this weekend. They're just too good. They're too good. If you wanted to play Tony Pollard, I probably go the under 46.5 rushing yards. Because you have to think Ezekiel Elliott is also going to get enough touches that is going to take out some of what Pollard could even be eligible for. Dak going over 1.5 receptions. Interceptions right here. Oh, there isn't a prize pick for that. They've only got Purdy at 0.5. Trevor Lawrence, Danny Jones against Philadelphia, 33.5. Jalen Hurts, 30.5. He's hit that in 4 of his last 5 games. Had 28 against Green Bay back on November 27th. So he's been over 30 passing attempts. I feel like Jalen Hurts over on the passing attempts would be good. I feel like Jalen Hurts over on the passing attempts would hit. Against the New York Giants. Where in the hell are they? Oh, they're right here. So teams on the season against the New York Giants attempted 567 passes. So against New York this season, typically teams were averaging about 33 passing attempts against the New York Giants. I like that. I like the over a 30.5. I like the over a 30.5. Ricky becoming a member for the 6 month. Kyle, I'm not sure what match your deposit. I'm new to online betting. When I put the discount code, appreciate your hard work. DJ Moore will be a top 10 in 2023. Ricky. So if you go on Prize Picks and you sign up with code word headliners, they'll match your deposit up to $100. So if you want to deposit $20, they'll match your deposit with another $20 $20 in promotional funds that you can use to place bets with. Now, can you withdraw that $20? No, you can. It's not money that you can just withdraw and take, but you can use that money to go ahead and play other matchups. So you could play $40 worth of picks instead of just playing 20 if you were to deposit $20. Travis Kelce's the only receiving TD right now. I don't mind that one. Jacksonville allowed 7 touchdowns to the wide receiver position or to the tight end position this season. But on top of that, they allowed 1,058 receiving yards to the tight end position this year. 1,058. That was the 5th most in the National Football League. So they allowed over 62.2 receiving yards to tight ends, the 5th most in the National Football League this year. Travis Kelce is at 77.5 for this game. I would probably still take the over. there. One of Jacksonville's weaknesses is covering the tight end position. I would probably take the over on the receiving yards. I probably smash the receiving touchdowns, though. For him to score one, and I'll take more. Just imagine, entry fee $20. You place these, you hit all of them, $200. Boom, baby. We making money this weekend. We're making money. We making money. We making money. We making money. Okay, I'll stop singing. I'm sorry. I got carried away there. Pass plus rushing yards. Obviously, I think the big one there, Danny Jones. Danny Dimes. 266.5. Passing plus rushing yards. Let's take a quick look here. Rushing yards. Here's an interesting one. I think we've got to smash the Danny Jones. What's he at on rushing yards? Just rushing yards alone. 45.5 rushing yards for Daniel Jones. He's hit over in 2 of his last 5. But he gets the Philadelphia Eagles that allow the 4th most rushing yards per game to the quarterback position. They average just over 26 yards per game to the quarterback position. Rushing yards. That's Philadelphia. So what is his rush plus pass plus rush? No, that's rush plus receiving. So he's at 266.5. What does Philadelphia allow through the air? I know they're one of the better teams. Philadelphia has allowed the 2nd fewest passing yards this season. Just over 3,500. So they allow just over 200 passing yards per game. Probably I'd probably go with the pass plus the rushing yards in this one. If you're going to go for one or the other, I probably end up going with the pass plus rushing over just the rushing by themselves. Now, the one I am really interested in here is Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes, especially Patrick Mahomes at 341.5, because the Jacksonville Jags have allowed the third most rushing yards to the quarterback position this season. They have allowed 469 rushing yards to the quarterback position. That's good for about 27 rushing yards per game. But also on top of that, they have allowed the 6 most passing yards per game. So 27 yards on the ground per game. 27. They allow 250 through the air, so about 277 total. Okay, that's a big number. 344 is a big number then. Oh, man. I was feeling really good about it there for a second, and then I was like, 341 is a big number. 341 is a big number. Jeremy, I think we should do more of these with full videos or live streams. You guys do. Jeremy, we've already talked about it. Absolutely. We've already talked about it. Some of those things are going to depend on what the new year brings us. Can't talk about it out loud. Just things happening behind the scenes. We'll update you when we know a little bit more, but we are game planning some of those things. Absolutely. Absolutely we are. So the Patrick Mahomes, what's his just rushing yards? Rushing yards are 22.5. I'd probably take the over on Patrick Mahomes' 22.5 rushing yards. Jacksonville is allowing 27 rush yards per game to the quarterback position. Patrick Mahomes has hit this mark in 2 of his last 3 games. I'd probably go the over on Patrick Mahomes and his rushing yards at 22.5. I'll add that one and click more there. I think Trevor Lawrence rushing yards is also interesting. Now he doesn't scramble out of the pocket and try to run as much as like Patrick Mahomes does. But the Kansas City Chiefs, they allow the 5th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks. So in terms of rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and Kansas City are all in the top 5, and they're all playoff teams. Miami, who got bounced last week, they were 2nd. Just out of curiosity, is Dak Prescott showing up in here? 13.5. San Francisco allows the 5th fewest rushing yards to quarterbacks. I feel like my stream is way behind. My stream, I think, is way behind right now. So I don't know if any of you guys are way behind or not. What other things do we have here? Let's see if we go through here. If anything catches our eye. This one could be interesting, but I don't know what it's set at. Miles Sanders at 63.5. I look at that one because the Giants have allowed the 4th most rushing yards on the season to opposing running backs. They allowed 2,019 rushing yards this season to running backs, good for 118.7 per game. He's only hit that mark in 2 of his last 5 games. That big one coming back against the same New York Giants team with 144 rushing yards. This year was a little bit of an anomaly, and I would like to give credit to who posted it, but to be honest with you, I don't remember anymore. But somebody had put out some sort of statistic showing that this was the high, since it's been tracked, that this was the highest season ever for taking the under on bets. Whether it be the score, whether it be props, whatever it was, that this was the highest percentage of under being correct in any other season. So if it worked for you this year, Buck, and you hit 72% of your unders, that would make sense because it sounds like a majority of the bets hit the under this season. But when I like to look for overs. I like to look for overs. And the reason for that is, and listen, people, Jeremy, this was one of the, this season, when you take a look, especially how the year started, a lot of players just did not perform well. A lot of teams did not perform well. Scoring was down across the board. This season was not a very great offensive season. And that's why a majority of the unders are what hit. Now, for me personally, when I look for prop bets, I look for the bets that I think can hit the over. Maybe, who knows? Who knows why I've done this? But for me, I feel like it's easier for me to predict a good performance than it is a bad performance. Now, if I find anything that seems to be a little bit on the high side, like this Jalen Hurts bet that we talked about earlier, I'd be willing to hit the less on that. I'd be willing to take the under. But for the most part, when I research prop bets, I research what is it that I think hits the over. Who do I think have good performances? And then I try to shoot for those. This Miles Sanders over 63.5 rushing yards, I think it's a little tricky, but I think I'd probably go with it. The Giants haven't been great against the run. The last time he played the Giants, he ran for 144 yards. If Jalen Hurts is still banged up in any way, they might say, listen, we don't want to do a whole lot of designed runs with Jalen Hurts, because if we do and he gets that shoulder banged up, we're definitely screwed. So instead of doing more designed runs with Jalen Hurts, do they just do some more, obviously, designed runs with Miles Sanders? Do they just call straight runs with him? I think this is a decent one to take a look at. I think it is. He came very close in the other one that he didn't hit at 61, so he just missed that by 2.5 yards. Obviously, this New York Giants game here, he only had 33, but I don't know how many touches he got that game either. Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me. So that's an interesting one there. I don't mind that one. Like, if we're going to take an under, I hate to do it, but like Joe Mixon and the under, I think, is probably a decent one this week. Bills, they were top 10 fewest rushing yards allowed to running backs this year. We know that offensive line is beat up right now. He was under on 3 of his last 4, and his other one was only 65. I think if you want to find another under bet this week, I think if you take a look at Joe Mixon, I think that's one that definitely could do well for you. Joe Mixon under on the rushing, I think, is one that could do well for you too. Okay. So another one too, Devin Singletary under 40.5. I don't know what's going on here. Maximum of 6 picks allowed. I can't look at it still. All right. Well, I have to clear all these out now because this is clear. Devin Singletary under 40.5 receiving or 40.5 rushing yards, I think is a decent one. I don't know why it's not showing us. The Bengals allow the 4th fewest rushing yards per game to the running back position. Now, he's hit the over against Miami against Chicago, and barely hit it against Miami again. 106 against Chicago, 29 against New England. Cincinnati, pretty good against the run. 4th fewest rushing yards this season to running backs. They allowed just over 81 yards. And I do think we're seeing a little bit more James Cook. As well. So that's something that we want to keep in mind. But I think Devin Singletary, taking the under on him probably also works. I don't know why my Prize Picks is so slow right now. It's telling me to log in again. Did it kick me out? Did I just get kicked out? There it goes. I think we found some good props this week. Josh Allen rushing yards. What's he sitting at? 44.5 rushing yards against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has allowed the 3rd fewest rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks this season. Only 194 rushing yards by quarterbacks against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's 12 rushing yards a game. I think the danger with taking that on Josh Allen, why is this taking so long? Is Prize Picks really this busy at 10 o'clock at night? Holy crap. I think the issue with going the under on Josh Allen rushing yards is that Josh Allen has the capability of putting up 44.5 rushing yards on one freaking play, right? And I think that's the most difficult thing about going the under on Josh Allen rushing yards. The game says yes, that will happen. Just because Cincinnati's not really allowed a whole lot of rushing yards to quarterbacks this season. But with that being said, like we just mentioned, Josh Allen goes for a 30-yard run, and now it's like, okay, if he gets 5 more rushing attempts, he's probably going to go the over there. So, could you take the under? Absolutely, you could take the under. I think it's going to be tricky, though, because 44.5, he could hit pretty quickly. And I don't know. There it goes. But he's only been over one time in the last 4 games, too. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. So on the under, Jen, I don't mind it. I don't mind the under there at all. Because everything would point to That being correct, he would probably hit the under on that. Five receptions on Evan Ingram kind of sticks out to me a little bit as well. Ooh, okay, so here's one. Jerick McKinnon, 4.5 receptions. I probably take the over on that against Jacksonville. Jacksonville has allowed the second most receptions to running backs this season. They have allowed 104 receptions to the running back position. So over the course of a 17-game schedule, they average just over 6 receptions, or they allow just over 6 receptions to opposing running backs. 4.5 receptions on Jerick McKinnon. I like that one. I like the over on that one for sure. He's hit that in 3 of his last 4 games. Free square for Joel Embiid. Okay. Okay. I don't mind that one. I like that Jerick McKinnon one there. So we can probably go ahead and lock him in for over 4.5 receptions this week. We already talked about Travis Kelce scoring a touchdown, right? Six and a half receptions for Travis Kelce. Probably still stick with the touchdown there. I think he could have a big game, but I'd probably still stick with the touchdown there. The New York Giants this season have allowed 86 receptions to the tight end position and 895 yards. The problem with chasing a Dallas Goedert prop bet is that Devontae Smith has played so well. Now, with that being said, earlier in the season, Jalen Hurts was looking towards Dallas Goedert way more often than he was looking towards Devontae Smith. So the Giants allowed just over 5 receptions per game to the tight end position this season. Dallas Goedert at 4.5 receptions this week. If we get ourselves into a shootout, I'm probably okay with it. I feel like YouTube is having some problems right now because I haven't seen anybody comment in quite some time. And my stream is way behind. Like, I don't know when you're listening to this, but my stream right now, yeah, it was like 5 minutes behind. Carla, appreciate you. Glad you enjoy it. Coming up on 9:54, so I'm going to get out of here in just a few minutes. Going to cut this off at an hour. But hopefully everybody, yeah, like Carla said, enjoying the Prize Picks videos. We're going to do, like I said, can't give away too much information right now. It's something that we'll talk about more and more as the off season progresses. We'll definitely keep doing these for. So I got this one in next week. I will be on vacation next week, but I will be back Thursday night, Friday morning. So I could potentially do one of these live streams on Friday night, Saturday morning. So definitely, I'll talk to Jake about position. What is going on? My streaming software just said it disconnected, then reconnected. So I don't even know what the hell is going on. It says I'm still live, though. So that's good. It says I'm still live. So that's perfect. I wonder if that's why a bunch of people left. It did disconnect for like 5 seconds. Okay. I was going to say, I wonder if that's why people dropped off. Jeremy, speaking of games, I think I'm going to head over to some Call of Duty after this. Go drop into some Warm Zone. Make some kids cry tonight. So Hayden Hurst, 3.5 receptions. I don't mind the Hayden Hurst 3.5 receptions. I don't know if I love the yards because Buffalo gives up quite a few receptions to the tight end position, but they don't give up a whole lot of yards. So yards-wise, they gave up the third fewest yards to the tight end position. But when you take a look at receptions, they were actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They were 13th. So they give up a decent amount of receptions. They gave up 82 receptions to the tight end position this year. That's about 5 a game. They give up about 5 receptions a game to the tight end position. So if you're going to take the over somewhere, I wouldn't go the over on Hayden Hurst yards, but I would go the over on his receptions. I would probably go over on receptions. And then what was his yards again? And then probably go the under on the yards. Ricky, I play on PC. Because yards-wise, Buffalo allows... What do they allow? 616 to the tight end position. So they allowed 38.5 receiving yards to the tight end position. So I probably don't take the under on the yards. I probably leave that alone, but I definitely take the over on the receptions. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to basically do it for tonight. I think we got through a lot of prize picks. I think we talked about a lot of different ones that could work. Talked about some overs, talked about some unders, talked about some ones that we like, some ones that were not as good, and others that were just okay. I think we had a good stream tonight. What do y'all think? Hit the thumbs up button for me if you agree. Right there. Just smack that one. Just go right up to it and just go. Who doesn't love a little tap? All right. Little tap, tap, taparoo on that like button for me. Appreciate y'all. But like I said, I'm going to be out of town starting Sunday. I'll leave Sunday morning. And then I'll be back Thursday night. So my plan is at this point to potentially still do one of these shows next week. And if I don't, then possibly Jake will. Who knows? We'll talk about it and we'll figure it out. But maybe I'll shoot for Friday night or Saturday morning next week to try and get it. I guess I could even do... I don't know if anybody's going to work or school on next Friday. Probably not. I'm going to assume not. So I'll probably wait to do it during the evening. We'll see, though. But everybody continue to pay attention, all right? Hey, for everyone that's still a member out there, absolutely awesome that you're continuing to be a member throughout the off season this year. Really, really appreciate it. That helps out a ton. So thanks so much for those of you that are still members. Thanks to those of you that are gifting memberships. I know Ben gifts like a membership every single stream. I wish there was a counter. Ben, can you keep track of how many consecutive streams you've gifted a sub on? So appreciate the gifted subs. And hey, if you haven't been able to gift a sub, if you haven't been able to become a member, whatever it may be, but you're still here watching the content, hitting the like button for me, really do appreciate that. For those of you still watching, one thing I want to hammer home for you, if you start watching one of our videos, watch it till the very end. We've sped up our videos. We're making them a little bit quicker during the off season because we're kind of toying with a few things algorithm-wise on YouTube. So if you start watching one of our videos, watch it to the very end. Watch all 5, 6, 7 minutes of it for us because that helps out the video a ton. Hit the like button, comment down below, all that good stuff. But hey, I'm going to get out of here. It's just after 10 o'clock. I am going to go hang out over on Headliner Gaming here in maybe like half an hour or so. So if you want to come hang out with me over there and watch me play some Warzone, subscribe to Headliner Gaming and come do that. But I'm going to go for right now. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your playoff games. And I'll see y'all in the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners. Later, everybody.
When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for